Man, now
I didn't mean to
serving
throw
your
y'all off with
entree
that.
of sports and entertainment. The triple shot of Marcus returns. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Fish and Grits for the culture. October 10th, 2018. How's it going for you fellas? How y'all
Ooh, we've
doing
been going for
today?
we've been going for a longer time.
Man, like when those wrestlers take a
Brothers
good
got on
hiatus and
baby.
they just
Brothers got on baby. So,
So you trying to
stay
say
out of
we
personal
came
life.
back like
We got
Wheezy?
stuff
We
going
came back
on.
like Wheezy. We going with our Carter Five.
Back again, like a
came
ludicrous song in this song.
came back like Shawn Michaels and them, man. We back at it. We got we got one more run.
For the 14th time, we got
We,
one last
we got
run. We
one
got
more.
one last run. Somebody get Majeritol in my depends.
Let's
We
get it
got one
in.
last run in us.
Let's get
Yeah,
it in.
I just caught that joke. I know that was funny.
Man, what's new, fellas? How y'all been, man? How's life for you guys?
Man, life is wonderful. I don't even know what
Life is
happened. I
wonderful,
think the
brother.
last time we got together it was preseason. I want to say.
It was
Pretty much.
preseason, man. It was preseason. It was like mid August before your boy just started to break down on my end, bro. Shit been crazy, but I'm just trying to get it back together. Taking it day by day. My man Wilson gave me probably the best advice so far. He just said, "Listen to your body," and it was one point where I was refusing to do it because I was like, "Ah, man, I'll be all right." And man, I tell you this, it's not until you trying to make a goddamn cake and your back give out, now you crawling army style on the floor till you realize you need to sit your ass down sometimes.
Exactly. That's the
That-
Lord saying, "Get your ass down, nigga.
like
Put you
just
on a bear crawl." Nigga.
and it's funny because I even like I say that's something that's just been kind of floating through my mind, and I even had that same aspect today. Is just listen to your body slow down. Today I slowed down everything, and I probably had one of the most productive days I've had in the last month. Like
That is
just in general, like this week has been great, but it's just everything about today is like character development. You seeing people expand, you seeing people grow. Like I seen a lot of growth just from everybody around me. Like it was a lot of positive energy today, you know? Like, and once you get into those modes, it's like, man, life is wonderful, bro.
okay. Get your Gandhi
Life,
on, man. You speaking
life is
knowledge over
wonderful. I mean, it's not about knowledge, Griff. It's just someone told me today, communication leads the nation. So it's just the fact of being able to express ourselves as usual. Y'all don't realize like this show has done a lot for me when it comes to just starting up my business because it just gave me that confidence to just get out there and do it. Just like me and Marcus did with this, just like when we brought Wilson in, the way we was able to even have that amount of growth that we had was something that we created on our own. You know, it just gives you that confidence to go out there and achieve anything you want to. So, and I love this, dude. I love doing this, and I hate that we took such a hiatus. Like I really missed it, dude. I really missed like just looking at my laptop, not being able to mix an episode, not being able to put the opening hook on, no introduction, no nothing, just no communication. And we talked about this the last time that we had an episode is how we created this brotherhood, and we kind of went away from it due to my illness or whatnot. But man, it's
Oh,
just
we
like
didn't go away from it. We just did what was necessary to make sure that you here so we can record another episode after said hiatus.
it's
This
just good. It's
brotherhood,
just
we
it's just good to be back.
make no mistake about it.
It's good to be back, man. It's good to be back, and I hope that my growth can help grow this show also. I
Shit,
really do.
we didn't miss so much shit. We didn't ain't talked about insecure ballers. We ain't talked about no
And you know
NBA.
what? We've missed a lot. A lot has occurred since we've last recorded and stuff like that. That's all well and good, but I mean, was it really that hot if we weren't there to talk about it? Can I get my
Exactly.
Kanye in for a second? Was it really that fat if we
Hey,
weren't
the
there
only
to
thing.
bless these folks with these gems of knowledge?
For real, for real, for real, for real, man. But bro, you know what? You know what really just capped everything out for me. You know when I just really felt like, all right, you know what? I'm back in order. When I ain't got to listen to these goddamn Cowboy fans bicker and complain about how they America's team and how they gonna do all this and that to the Texans. I'm just glad they took care of business. It was an ugly game. The defense kicked our ass, but I'm just glad it's over and I ain't got to hit them for 4 years.
Man, I'm just mad that all of a sudden that you just reminded me that I gotta go to Sam's and get a bag
Both
of
of y'all
candy for
do.
Wilson because
Both
Mr.
of y'all
45
do.
ain't making it.
Yeah.
I don't
Both
know
of
what.
y'all do. Yeah.
Damn
Hey,
you,
it's
Bill
hey,
O'Brien.
it's Halloween, bro. So we gonna give him that good old half off. You
We're
gonna
gonna
get
give
your
him a
It's
half
a
candy
off.
discount. It's all
Matter of
good.
fact, I'm gonna go November
November
1st on your
November 1st.
on your
I was
ass.
about to say, hey, November 1st, baby, I'll take it. I'll take it. It don't matter if it's at a discounted rate or full price. It don't matter.
Hey,
We gonna have all kind of ghosts on there.
Bill O'Brien ain't doing. Hey, while you talking, I got a bag of Easter candy in the closet, and you might get that.
It's not Milky Way though. I was specific on what
Oh, you
I.
did say Milky Ways.
So if it ain't
Yeah.
Milky Way, I'm not feeling it.
No,
I
I
can't
really don't
do
want
it.
to get into the Bill O'Brien tangent, but I feel like a lot of people being super harsh on Bill, man. They being super harsh on him. Like these are some close ass games, and I know it's some questionable play
Oh, I'm
calling,
I'm sorry.
but
Did you say that they were being harsh on Bill O'Brien?
they being harsh on Bill O'Brien, man. They are being super harsh.
Ah, fuck Bill.
What's the
I mean,
Texans
because
record?
2-3, but they also they number one. They just can't punch it in, but they're number two in
What
offense. Like
what's their defense rank?
the defense is top five.
And
It's a
you just
top
said
five
they're
defense.
second in offense, but can't seem to punch it in. They still can't
They
seem to
can't
get the
punch
ball
it
to
in.
DeAndre Hopkins in clutch times because for all of the efforts that he put forth in that
It's
wonderful
five.
Cowboys victory,
It's
he
five
didn't score a
games in.
touchdown, right?
It's 5 games in, man. And he
He
scored in
didn't
every
score a
other
touchdown
game.
in that game, did
He
he?
scored in every other game.
Yeah, he
That's
scored.
not what I
Scores.
asked you, sir. That's not
He's
what I asked you, sir. He didn't.
no well, nobody scored unless your name is Kiki QT.
Oh, okay. Do you love him?
Nobody.
Are you riding? Okay.
Oh my word.
he needs
That's
some
what we taking it.
he, he needs some more hamstrings.
Thing. And see, this is the funny part about it because now I see Texans fans, now I see Cowboys fans sounding like this old buzzkill because I've been saying the same thing about my team and my coach for the last 4 years now. Eventually, something has to give. If all of your moving parts are doing the best that they possibly can and it's still not enough, that's a mark of coaching.
It's week 5. They've been competitive. They haven't been blown out. And the schedule's gonna get a lot easier going down the road.
You think?
So, I believe so. I
They do
believe
have an easier schedule.
they got a very easy schedule. So even with this rough start,
Right now,
they're
their
one
own
game out of
division
the
looks
division.
hard as hell. Will they win a division game this season outside of that one they did with the Colts?
They could
Will they
beat
win another one?
They could beat Tennessee if it wasn't for that bullshit
Well, the
ass
last
all that
years,
bullshit ass
Tennessee,
special
have they
teams
beaten them?
touchdown. They can beat them. Tennessee is beatable. They're
We're
very
not
beatable.
talking about who's beatable and who's not beatable. We're
Now,
talking about whether the Texans can
Jackson,
actually do enough and execute to
Jacksonville is
actually win their divisional
yes,
games.
they will. Yes, they will. As soon as Foreman gets there,
Because I smell some more candy on the line.
they will. What's the bet? Talk to me.
What's their current record in the division?
They're 2-3 overall in the division. They're 1-1.
No, in the division, just in the division.
They're 1-1.
They're 1-1.
Yeah, they beat the Colts. Lost to the Titans.
Lost to the Titans.
Candy bet double or nothing that they don't go better than 3-3 in the division.
That they don't go better than 3-3. You got it.
Nope.
You got it. So
The only reason why I'll take that bet too, for the simple fact is, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Get in on it, Griff. Get in.
The only reason why is because looking at the Jags, you don't know what to tell. Then Fournette's not back there. You don't know the defense ain't playing the
As
greatest.
it pertains to them playing against the Texans, not having Fournette there is actually a bigger problem because Yeldon is a bigger challenge to that defense than Fournette is.
See, you know what? Nope.
He's super versatile.
Nope. Let me talk. Let me show you right now. I was a huge fan of Yeldon. What was it? 2 years ago when I had Toby Gerhardt. I'm sorry, I've seen enough of TJ Yeldon. That TJ Yeldon,
but that's also a way better line. What they did.
But let me tell you what he does.
They just lost Cam Robinson, so you know.
But let me tell you what he does. He has flashes. He'll have a good game. He'll have a media. He'll do like Alpha Blue. Alpha Blue would have a.
So he only has to have 2 flashes. The only games that I'm talking about is the Texans games. That's 2 flashes.
I just think Deshaun Watson gonna start getting his legs up under him, and I think, man, it's Bill O'Brien.
Deshaun Watson.
Stop blaming
every game.
Hey, dog. Sorry, DeMarcus. Who called those bad the red zone plays, man? 1 of 5 in the red zone. That's terrible.
DeAndre should have scored on one of them. Griffin dropped the ball. Now the QB zone read that gotta stop. The QB zone read gotta stop. He can't take all these hits.
Hey, Marcus, let me ask you a question. What was Lamar Miller's best skills when he was with the Dolphins?
Man, Lamar.
Receiving back, sir.
Thank you. How many targets did Alfred Blue get? Like 8 or
Alfred Blue
9.
had 8 catches.
I
I
said,
think he had like
Hey
11
man,
targets. Alfred Blue.
hey
they
man.
never
I
throw it.
just need to know if y'all taking this candy bet or not. That's
Dog,
all I need to know.
they don't
3-3 is
never
a
throw it.
wrap. We going
They
at least
don't.
3-3. It's a
I
wrap.
just,
Don't
I just
laugh,
truly,
man.
this is the thing that stands out to me. This is the thing that stands out to me the greatest. So listen to a lot of these football aficionados who just know the game or whatnot, and I just think they just be bullshitting and just living in the moment. But when you really look at it and you take a step back and you look at what's going on, it's just like a lot of these coaches that are having success are understanding the players that they have and they know what system to implement. And I just don't understand why Bill O'Brien doesn't use Lamar Miller in more creative ways. Use his wide receivers in more creative plays. Like your offensive line is trash, but you can do things and you can scheme things to play way better than what they have been playing like. And that's what I get frustrated with.
Would you like to know the irony about that?
Please let me know.
This is the same coach that we're talking about that was so innovative and trailblazing and so creative
With Tom
because
Brady.
he was the offensive guy for the Patriots. Yeah.
And
So I
it's
mean,
I don't get
he's
it. I
pretty
don't
much
know.
doing the same thing, except he's taking advantage of the fact that he has a little Clydesdale that can run and scramble out of the pocket to do dumbass read option plays instead of what he was doing in New England.
I'm just so scared,
So
man.
I'm
I'm
supposed to
scared.
give the coach a break, like DeMarcus said, when he's basically doing the antithesis of what got him that job in the first place.
Let Bill at least get through half the season. Like people call it, we just got rid of Rick Smith. Now they want to get rid of Bill O'Brien for who? Who's out there? You want Dabo? Hell no. There's no coach that can come in right now and make an impact on the Texans. You might as well at least give Bill to the rest of the season. I'm just sick of
Harbaugh?
people from Michigan.
Hey
Oh
man,
hell
I
no.
get it, brother. I get it. You
Let,
sound just like
let,
every other
let the man
Packers
ride.
fan that's like, well, who can we get better than McCarthy? Let him ride. I've been hearing that for 4 years. 4 years wasted by the best quarterback in football that's won nothing because they sit back and they ride on that conservative ass. I don't have a clue when the lights get bright and everything is on the line. Coach. So be my guest.
But
Join my misery.
it's a lot different when you already have a Super Bowl on deck. Like as great as Sean Payton
No,
is,
actually, it's not because if
Sean
we
Payton
really
can
want to
have
be
a lot of
honest about
mediocre.
said Super Bowl, that
Sean Payton
Super
can
Bowl
have a
had
lot of
absolutely
mediocre.
nothing to
He's
do
not
with
going
Mike
nowhere.
McCarthy.
He's not
That
going
Super Bowl
anywhere.
had nothing to do with Mike
What'd you say?
McCarthy.
What'd you say about Sean Payton?
Sean Payton can have a lot of mediocre years and he's not going nowhere. Like that Super Bowl gives you like that credibility. Like, hey, you're cool.
But
Look at
there's never
Harbaugh
been
in Baltimore.
but
Like
there's
he's
but
not
there's
going.
never but if you think about it, it's never been an incident where anybody doubted what's going on with New Orleans offense. Like we always like, okay, their defense is not holding up or
I
whatnot.
mean,
And then when their defense
how
is
do we doubt the Packers offense? I mean, they've
because
been for the
But
last
neither of those
decade.
teams have the same problem that the Texans have because the Texans, in spite of having a easy ass division and a super good defense, still can't seem to
Used to be
succeed.
easy. Used to be easy.
what? The
Oh well, I mean, let you tell it off this bet. It's still easy now since
man,
y'all
it
are going
is
better than
easy
3-3
now.
in the
They
division,
Mariota
right?
moving.
Mariota
They still competitive. I mean,
Mariota
They
Mariota
are.
is not
it's not the bums that was out there before.
dog. I think we
They are.
overhyped our division. I think that we thought that our division was that good, but with the quarterbacks that we thought that had the potential to do something, but Mariota's been
Mariota.
Coda hot,
Mariota.
and then Andrew Luck. Hey, Andrew Luck been balling. I gotta give Andrew Luck some credit, man. I think that's been really the surprise team of how well the Colts been playing on the defensive end, as well as what Andrew Luck has been doing with just dealing with all the injuries on his side of the ball.
And his line is
So
still terrible. Like
it's terrible, but he's still. But look at him. But he's still making his offense score and actually doing something to try to win.
well, because Eric Ebron finally remember he was a top 10 fucking pick.
Oh yeah, I do like that, man. Eric
What's
Ebron been
up, man?
icy out there.
Matt
Now he
Stafford's
got
been
like
trying to
5 injuries,
the
but
ball
he's
for
icy.
you.
Did you hear he on the injury report got like 5 injuries? I'm like, damn.
That's typical Ebron, though. That's typical Ebron.
But yeah,
Man,
man, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, I've been enjoying football. I know a lot of people ain't watching, but I've been enjoying it.
football has been good. Football has been good. Who y'all early season favorites? I mean, outside of the Rams. Come on, let's leave the Rams out of this. And I kind of say let's leave the Chiefs out of this. I don't know how y'all feel about
I
this.
like the Saints. I'm still a fan of the Saints just for the. I think their defense gonna get it together.
That Davenport can play. That damn Marcus Davenport can play, man. He had an impressive fucking game on Monday.
On Monday, yeah, man. Ooh,
He
man,
had an
I
impressive
I
game.
was
But
embarrassed with how bad the
he's been
Redskins
impressive
was.
these past couple weeks. And the Redskins, you kind of could. It's the Alex Smith syndrome.
I mean,
Like
after a bye, ooh,
when he's bad, he's bad. He wasn't terrible. It's just he
it
wasn't
wasn't him.
stretching
It's
the
his
field.
receivers, dog. He have the Dak situation right now.
Man, they not using Jordan Reed though at
He
all.
using Jordan Reed. They ain't
I
using
don't.
Crowder enough. They're not using Paul Richardson. He can't stay
And I
healthy.
don't understand how somebody that had Vernon Davis and Travis Kelsey cannot use a Jordan Reed. Like it don't make no sense. AP don't look like he getting enough burn. Thompson, they look like they put him in at the wrong time. It's the defense is great. I like the names on the defense. I like how they play, but the offense is such a question mark.
You've been watching. You've been enjoying what you seeing Wilson out here.
Overall, the product has been interesting. A couple of my theories have actually come to fruition. I did regard or make sure that we talked about the fact before the season started that I told folks that it would be an abnormal year for quarterbacks and wide receivers. That trend is held up because most teams number 2 and number 3 receivers have been putting up numbers like number ones, and
Mm-hmm.
most number ones like the Julios and Odells have been
Number
looking
two.
like number threes. Uh, Mediocre quarterbacks throwing for 400 yards on the regular due to these changes in offensive philosophies and most importantly penalties, giving them more time to sit and analyze and break down defenses. 400 is like the new 300 now. I've never
That's
seen
it.
this many mediocre ass quarterbacks throw for 400 yards in a game in my life.
Sad.
It's interesting to see. It's good to see things like mathematical corrections. Browns can't lose every game forever.
I still see that
Good
10, that
seeing
9-7. I still see that
Good
nine and
seeing
seven.
that up and down. Well, my prediction is holding through great because when we previewed that division, I told y'all the state of Ohio was going to turn that division upside down. I
Mm,
look like I'm psychic right now, so I'm
yeah,
not
man.
mad at that. Uh, it's been interesting to see. It's literally been a any given Sunday season because we've seen teams that had no business win, and we've had
Bills,
teams that you never thought would lose. Uh,
Falcons.
so it's been funny. It's been really interesting. But I look forward to seeing what the I think that it's about to get real interesting once we start to get into this meat of the schedule, moving into people's bye weeks and stuff like that. Watching folks kind of position themselves for this middle stretch going into the home stretch late in the season once the weather starts to change and stuff like that. But overall, it's been a really fun season to watch.
I'm really impressed with my boy Kirk Cousins, man. He's been playing some good football, in my opinion.
Nah,
You don't think
fam,
so?
can't
You
do
don't
it,
think?
can't do it. You don't pay that much money to game managers.
But he's not game managing.
He has no running game.
Did
But
you
did you
watch
hear?
him
But did
play
you?
this weekend?
But did you hear the stat of like he's like number 2 in passing yards, and this is most like in what's the coach name? It just escaped
But,
my mind.
but passing yards is like the new 3-pointers,
No,
bro.
but what is the coach name?
Wasn't Fitzpatrick leading the NFL in passing yards through the first 3 weeks?
I mean, you saw why was that, man? That
I
defense
mean,
didn't
but
do
I'm just
nothing.
saying I can't put much stock into that when through the first 3 weeks and the earth in everything for quarterbacks.
I blame it on. I mean, the Vikings defense ain't been really holding it down, honestly. Like, if you want to, truth be
No,
told,
they've been kind of topsy turvy and up and down and stuff like that. But on the flip side of that too, when you go through and unfortunately, it's not really through any fault of his own. It's the nature of the business. When you pull that kind of paycheck, you better be a superstar every week.
and then that running game. But then it's back what DeMarcus used to talk about, team sports. I mean, running back ain't doing nothing. You got Cook who can't stay healthy. Latavius Murray looks terrible, and
And none of those dudes take up 20% of the salary cap either. So although it's a team sport, that man is holding down a large piece of the pie. So he's gonna get a large amount of that blame when things ain't going right too. It's just the nature of the business. I don't agree with it, but that's just the way that it is. We
but
all know that. It comes
I'm
down
glad
to the
nobody.
quarterback, whether they're in it or not.
But I'm glad nobody really been getting on Kirk Cousins. Honestly, I really haven't
Well,
even
they don't
heard
have a
nobody.
reason to because of the simple fact that they're still in the thick of things as far as their division goes and stuff like that. B, there's been these wildly entertaining things to distract you, like Fitzmagic and Pat Mahomes and other QBs doing things. Drew Brees breaking the record, Tom Brady breaking the touchdown plateau of 500 that is keeping that microscope away from Minnesota right now. Trust me, if they lose another couple of games in a row and go under 500, everybody and their mama will be paying attention to them.
I'll give him respect for that comeback. I mean that win against the Eagles. I was really impressed by that. His performance. Well, I was impressed by his performance.
He did well. I was impressed by his performance from a standpoint of going through, not trying to overdo it, and taking advantage of the matchups that he saw that presented themselves. Because, dear Jalen Mills, the Philadelphia fans will turn on you immediately. I don't give a shit what you did last season. You keep getting roasted like that, homeboy, you will be on the unemployment line. Oh my God!
But it's the whole. It's like the Eagles. They D line is living in like last year. The O line is living in last year. Like they still in a Super Bowl high.
It's a Super Bowl hangover, man. I've seen it happen to plenty of teams coming off a Super Bowl win. They just have to figure it out. Like losing Jay Ajayi doesn't help. You know, and not having a Carson Wentz at 100% doesn't help either. But they got to find a way to kind of bounce back and figure it out. They're going to get a really big challenge because they're going to get
tomorrow. It's going to be tough.
Much better Giants team tomorrow night playing against them.
And determined.
Oh yeah.
Odell got them boys fired up.
Hey, the Giants didn't play.
All that drama that the media tried to put out there backfired, and it actually got them boys a little bit more unified, and they actually played a hell of a lot better this weekend.
They played a lot better. Graham Gano just came through clutch as fuck. Like I ain't know he was gonna hit that shit.
Me neither. When I saw them score that touchdown, I said, "Oh yeah."
I was like, "Oh yeah, it's over."
I said, "Okay, Odell, okay, you escaped criticism." Then all of a sudden, that kick, I said, "Oh shit, they about to light his ass up." I knew they was about to.
But that whole drive is like, what are the Panthers doing? I'm like, they about to lose this game.
But I just be like, did y'all watch the interview? Because I know they didn't release the Wayne part of the interview. The Odell with Joe Steedham.
Yeah,
they were. I know they didn't release the Wayne part of the interview because I heard that Joe Steedham, because on Skip's show, I guess Wayne had reached out and talked to Skip and was saying that there was a whole interview that he had with Joe Steena about other stuff or whatever. But I just thought I always think it's weird because I'm just like, what is Joe Steena interviewing you when we know she's for ESPN or whatnot? It is what it is, but he didn't know what was going on with the Odell situation. But Odell was kind of speaking his mind. But I'm just like, why is everybody so bent out of shape and like, oh, you can't do this? But I'm just like, he kind of was talking about shit that everybody kind of was talking about.
So here's the thing, though. The thing about it is this. Classically speaking, when you're talking about a team sport, if you got something going on and stuff like that, don't take it to the press. You handle that in-house. Don't sit and let the first time you drop out and state your opinion about something be in front of a microphone in front of the media. Now, if you've already discussed this with Eli Manning and your teammates in the back, and you're just letting them know about what it is y'all talked about, that's one thing. But for your teammates, your coaches, the guy that you're talking about, whatever, what have you, if it's their first time hearing about it through an interview, that kind of goes against the laws and principles of the locker room. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like telling off, house business in front of mixed company. Is it the right thing to do? No. Was he telling any lies? No.
Nope.
Was that made evident by the fact that nobody came out from that locker room and said Odell was wrong for doing what he did?
Nope.
You ain't hear nobody come out and be like, yeah, Odell was wrong for doing that shit.
We handled it.
They handled that part of it in-house. You know what I'm saying? And they let it be that. And you saw the results because they came out and had their best game of the year thus far playing out there in Carolina. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's a slippery slope. I mean, the one thing that I say that kind of rubs me the wrong way and I want him to be careful about, because I'm a really big Odell fan, is if he didn't learn anything from the Terrell Owenses of the world, the Chad Johnsons of the world, you have to be careful about how you go about it, because they will really be quick to paint you as a villain, even if you aren't one.
Real quick.
They were so quick to make him look like he was just literally a cancer in the locker room. Now he's dividing everybody up. Oh, he drunk off this new contract and he figured he can do whatever he wants to and this, that, and other. And that simply wasn't the case. We've seen what that looks like in other locker rooms. We've seen what that looks like because you'll have other teammates coming out and speaking contrary to what he's saying. None of that stuff occurred. So at the end of the day, yeah, he may have went about it the wrong way in principle, but he ain't say no shit that everybody didn't know and didn't necessarily agree with. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they had a fire lit up under them. They had some of the most creative play calling that I've seen in 2 years with the
Against a real good
Giants.
defense coming off a bye.
Yeah, and they almost beat a really good Carolina team. So if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
I agree. But it's gonna. I mean, it's been an interesting year. I'm ready for NBA now. Where'd
No,
Demarcus go?
I'm right here, brother.
Okay.
I'm not. No. The hell with that.
Who
What
cares
you
about the NBA?
you hurt? You hurt over there?
I'm hurt for him.
I'm hurt
Fuck
for it
yeah,
too.
I'm hurt.
I was looking
Fuck
forward to
yeah, I'm
seeing
hurt.
DeJounte Murray.
Who's gonna be the new point? Is Patty Mills still there? Jesus Christ, who's gonna
Yeah,
be there?
Patty
Yeah,
Mills
that
is
is
going to be the starter. Derek White, who they called up from the G League last year, who's actually going to be really good, is going to be his immediate
Whose
backup.
Spurs are these?
Uh,
Jesus Christ, DeMar DeRozan.
they're
Hey, DeMar
they're
DeRozan
going
has been looking
to
good.
well, the thing that's really going to carry them over right now is now they're going to have to shift their focus, and they're really going to have to lean on that front court even more. But that being said, uh, DeMar and Rudy Gay look really strong
I agree.
working together.
I told you.
Just finished playing against Atlanta. Unfortunately, Trey Young decided he
Hit
wanted
that
to pull
buzzer
up
beater.
from half court for the buzzer beater. That shit was he hit that shit from like 30 feet. That
Yeah, I
was
see you.
incredible.
That's Rick Fox son. That's Rick Fox son.
He got it in. But yeah, they're gonna have to lean on that front court a
Baby
little bit
Fox.
more. They're gonna have to be a little bit more creative. But you know, eventually all good things come to an end, barring some sort of minor miracle, because now their number one draft pick is also hurt with a torn meniscus, as well as Murray being out with a torn ACL. So they're literally going to be on skeleton crews in the backcourt. Like they literally have little to no depth whatsoever. And coming out that hurt that early in a conference like the West, it doesn't bode well.
It's gonna be very interesting. We ain't gotta talk about the Rockets, so we can move on.
Oh man, you already know it's about that. Warriors again.
Ooh, yeah, man. But
Warriors
hey, I ain't gonna
repeat.
talk. I don't want to
Quest,
hype my Rockets up, so we're gonna keep on rolling.
quest for
The
fun.
Rockets are going to do well this year. The Rockets are going to probably win about 64 to 67 games. They're going to go a couple of rounds deep in the playoffs.
Can I say this right quick?
Mhm.
Wilson, I don't know if you've seen any preseason games. Wilson had.
I
I mean,
have.
Demarcus, have you?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This this is a different looking Rockets team, man.
Here go
It
Griff.
ain't it ain't too much ISO going on. That ball movement, they more creative. That defensive side of the ball is looking really legit, man. Woo.
It's gonna
I,
take some injuries, Griff.
I don't want to
Everybody
get too
has a
hyped.
great plan
It's
until they
Oh,
get punched
Capella
in the
got hurt,
mouth. That's what Mike Tyson say.
and they got depth. I like that the Rockets got depth. They got a
it's,
depth. I mean,
it's,
if I,
it's
I
gonna take some injuries in California, man. A
it's
couple
three.
of them.
There's three people. There's this power forward that we have. I can't remember his name. He looks really good. Michael Carter Williams looks incredible. We still got Brandon Knight that's got to come back from his
Is your coach
surgery.
going to play them all?
8.
That's gonna be
You
that's
know,
gonna be interesting.
you gonna have
But
that
you
like
know what?
That's the only hitch that I have in that giddy up is the fact that man is so stubborn when it comes to that.
He had an interview over the summer where they were talking about the thing that they wanted to address was the depth of the Rockets and allow bodies to take over when there are injuries for like Chris Paul, or if something would happen to Capella, or with the forward spot, like they said, if they lost Trevor Ariza last year, where would they have gone? And they wanted to add depth. In seeing from preseason that they really addressed that. And the thing that Maury was talking about is giving everybody meaningful minutes. And I'm hoping that they stick to that and they do like the Spurs philosophy of not overplaying your players, because they have enough talent on, to go around. Just seeing with the young players with Chris, him being seeing what he's been doing in the preseason, and you have Michael Carter Williams, like I said, Brandon Knight got to come back. So it's gonna be interesting what you said. Mike D'Antoni is known for being playing like what 8-man rotation, but then again, he wasn't known for having a defensive side of a team, and the Rockets proved that wrong. So I'm hoping this year that they prove folks are wrong and they get that good rotation going. If they can get a 10-man rotation, sky's gonna be the limit.
we'll see, brother.
I won't get to it.
Injuries.
But even if they get hurt, but even if you get hurt, like if Chris Paul get hurt, guess what? You got Michael Carter Williams and Brandon Knight. If Harden get hurt, You got interchangeable pieces. You got Eric Gordon still there, PJ Tucker still there. You got Melo. Melo get hurt. You got Chris there. You got that young power forward dude who's killing it, and you got the rookie from U of H. He ain't got no PT. I know they're gonna throw him
They
in the D
waived
League
Eric
and bring
Gray.
him back.
We just cut Rob.
Oh
They
no!
waived Rob Gray.
Dang!
Sorry.
God dang it!
There's an opening in San Antonio though. If the young point guard
I was
needs to
just
get
about
some
to say
reps,
that.
he's more than welcome.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I just like the Rockets because they have a lot of depth. And what's his name looks good. The power forward dude we got. I can't remember his name. Saved my life. Ennis.
Come on. Oh, the small forward.
No, the power forward. No, he's not small forward. He's playing power forward.
Man, he plays small.
He's playing
forward.
stretch four in y'all's offense.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
He's been killing it. Ennis.
he guarded a lot of the forwards though.
That's what I'm saying. He could play interchangeable. That's why I like it because he could do
Yeah,
like the
he's a switch forward. He can play stretch four
It's
or
gonna be very interesting.
or three. It's kind of like the way that Rudy Gay plays in San Antonio. He's a three, but they play him in a stretch four depending on the lineup.
I'm gonna say this about this.
Yeah, oh, you talking when they move PJ Tucker down to 5? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The most interesting. The thing I can say about this NBA season is it's going to be entertaining from the standpoint of I don't know what to expect from any of these teams. Like I don't know what to expect from the Timberwolves or the Rockets or the Pacers or the Sixers or Boston or something like that. It's just I'm seeing potential in all of these teams. It can either go south or it can go,
Timberwolves
north.
are going to be a dumpster fire. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean, I can understand, but I'm just talking about just for the entertainment. Like the Pacers, like people still forgetting about the Pacers, and they've been looking like the best preseason team. And I'm just like, damn, they retained all their pieces, look better on defense, and they bring Tyreek Evans that's fitting in like seamlessly.
Yeah, they should be a top 3 seed in the East.
I hope so,
all
man.
things considered, they should be a top 3 seed in the East.
Wizards.
One thing I will say though that I am looking forward to because I firmly believe it. Expect to see a Warriors team playing like this is their last time playing together, so I expect them to make history.
I don't think, and I still don't think they're gonna disband either. I'm still,
man.
What's up with you?
I can tell you right now, the overall consciousness in that locker room is that at least 2 of those players that are there currently will not be there next season. So they're going to go out with a bang as currently constructed.
Mike Lee, please just call KD, do everything you can, get him to New York, get him out of here. Please.
Man, what's up with LeBron and these short ass shorts, man?
It's the new
Don't hate on LeBron because he's wearing his Magic Johnson.
Dog, it ain't no new league because I'm looking at everybody's shorts and they ain't sky high like LeBron's.
Don't hate on LeBron because he is channeling his inner magic, man. He wearing them James
got his
Worthies.
underwear showing.
He about to start throwing the most bounce passes of his life.
Like brothers back in the early 90s didn't wear them short ass shorts with them spandex shorts underneath. Don't hate on that man.
Hey man, LeBron. Hey man, LeBron. We ain't gonna talk about LeBron. Let's go. Keep going.
It's too early for you to start this hate campaign.
It ain't never no hate, man. LeBron is just a self-aware brother that he know what he be doing, man. That dude's just.
Don't be mad because that man print money in the middle of the night while he's sleeping.
Oh, he does, son. He does, man. While I'm up here snoring, man, he counting
hundreds.
All them
my nap was so profitable. I think I made another $800,000 while I slept. Yeah.
Damn, I would have slept good too. Shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like literally, somebody broke down his absurd numbers and stuff like that on his contract. I want to say it comes down to him making like $1,400 or some shit like that, like a minute or like 100 and something. Like he make like $121 a second.
Worth every penny.
I'm just be like, God damn it, man! If I just had that type of money, ooh Lord.
Hey, we flipped that so quick.
$121 a second.
Dog, I just be like, damn, I just wake up in the middle of the night like, God damn it, you know what? I'm tired of sleeping in this goddamn bed. Let me fly over here to Paris and go chill out on the beach. I'm like, God damn it, man.
Do you know how many Amazon Prime boxes would be in front of my door every day if I made $121 a second?
Too many niggas. I'll be at the Prime
for random shit that I don't even need. Like, Mark, I would have open accounts at movie theaters, bars.
He said, "What you bought?
What you bought now?"
You know what I'm saying? Every time I drive by your house, it's like boxes stacked up all at the front door.
Is this a helicopter pulling up to the driveway? What's going on here?
Yeah, they bring me the first 5 pieces. They're gonna deliver the other ones because they on back order next week.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't get
the real California palm trees in your driveway.
You know yeah, I got those trees from Cali home. I got
that driveway only 30 by 15, and you got By
Okay.
12 palm trees.
I told him I wanted to be exotic. I need the Cali palm trees and I need some Crenshaw dirt. Can't be
Yes,
from
sir.
nowhere but Crenshaw. It won't grow right. It won't grow right. I pour a 40 out on them every day just to make them grow.
LeBron is living his motherfucking best life, man.
Best, bestest.
Can't
What
even
else?
imagine.
What else going on out here in the world?
Man, what's going on in the music industry? What y'all been on? I haven't
I'm
jammed
old,
nothing,
man.
bro.
I'm
I
old.
haven't.
I
I
don't.
haven't.
I listen to old stuff.
Carter 5. I gave one run through, and I was like,
It's man. You know what? It's overhyped. It's very much overhyped.
super,
I'm gonna be
super.
honest with you.
And when I tell people that, they blow up. Like I don't understand how people support. Yeah,
Well, Lil Wayne has done his job then. I mean, if we really want to be honest about it, that's the way that all these new age fans are with any of the artists that they like. Folks ride with them like it's a gang type thing. You either love them or you hate them. You can't do no in between. You can't have an honest opinion. It's not like they can ever have a mediocre album or not be on top of their game. So, I mean, it just is what it is. You always gonna have folks that's gonna ride for Wayne. You're gonna always have people that's not gonna ride for Wayne, and then you'll get those that's caught in the crossfire that actually have an honest opinion about Wayne. I mean, it's par for the course with just about any album that drops. We saw the same thing with Drake. We saw the same thing with J. Cole. We saw the same thing with Dave East. You always gonna have those three categories of people. You're gonna have the riders, you're gonna have the haters, and you're gonna have the folks that probably have the most honest opinion of the artist caught in between.
Well, I'm about to give y'all the honest opinion. First of all, I like to say R.I.P. to my boy Mac Miller. I know we didn't even record why,
R.I.P.
since he passed.
Yeah.
I remember I really was a huge Mac Miller fan growing up in college. He had that, what is it, Kool-Aid and frozen pizza. He had Kids mixtape. He had the Blue Slide Part. I mean, he had a lot of good hits, and I really like to give a shout out to him and talk about. I've been jamming of late. Just put people on saying that they need to go check out. Since it's been a minute, they need to go check out Mac Miller's album that dropped in August before he passed, which is Swimming. It's a pretty good body of art. But if you really listen to the album, you can tell his pain. You could tell he was going through something. You could tell that he was in a really, really dark place. So when I did hear about his passing, it kind of made sense from listening to his album. It's a lot of you. If y'all ever listen to, I know Wilson, you have blues, and you could tell somebody's sorrow in a song, and it made for entertainment. That's kind of how his album is. And I mean, R.I.P. to Mac. Then you got Free Lunch, which is another EP from Wale that is probably some of the best music out right now. Wale's killing the game. I think that people love to hate on Wale or judge him because he's a sensitive fella, but I'm like, so are pretty much anybody. I mean, most famous people, but Wale got a really good project out. I like to give a little love to Boz. He dropped an album. He's under J. Cole Camp. It's called Milky Way. Probably top 2 album of the year in my opinion. It's some man, that dude right there. His style is something that I don't think that nobody in the game has, and I think everybody need to check him out. Also, I dropped that Dime track last week. I might have to say this is probably his top 3 album of his career. This album is fucking phenomenal in my opinion, and I think he did his damn thing.
Top 3 album. T.I. had some good albums, man.
This song on Madden is the shit. That's all I know.
This might be better. This might be better than I think. In my opinion, this is how I have T.I.'s album ranks. I have Urban Legend, I have King, then I have this album. And
okay, I was about to say Urban Legend. We may have to fight, man.
But this may flip. But this may beat King because he has some song. Because we've never seen T.I. in a vulnerable state, and I think he kind of went under the radar because everybody's on the Wayne hype. But I think when we go back and we listen to a lot of albums that came out this year, because it's been a great year for music.
Oh, it's been a phenomenal year, dude.
We're going to listen to T.I.'s album and say, damn, he's really exposed a lot. He has a song where he's literally crying out about how.
I really want to go ahead and say the last 3 years, 3 consecutive years has been pretty fucking good on music.
Oh, especially last year. Last year was phenomenal. And I think this was better than. I think because everybody who we wanted to dropped the album. The only people that are having drop is Ross supposed to be dropping something, which I'm looking forward to. Schoolboy pushed his back because Mac Miller died, and I was really looking forward to Schoolboy.
But Ross still gave us something last year early, so
I mean, no, he did, but I'm saying,
did Will Smith drop anything?
What'd you say?
Did Will Smith drop anything?
Nah, he dropped his little videos that he be doing of positivity.
Will Smith is living fucking.
In the last 3 years, been trash. If Will ain't dropped nothing, the last 3 years been trash.
Will Smith has been bungee jumping. He's done the challenge.
I can't even agree because I think I think
He's done
I
everything.
think the last 2 years of rap have put out what I would like to say timeless classic albums, and I'm talking about from Damn to
Mhm.
KOD to
Mhm.
Nipsey Hussle's. I forget. I can never remember the name of Nipsey Hussle album. Davies P2,
Davies,
like
yeah.
Freddie Gibbs. I mean, it's a lot of albums that we're gonna look back and they're gonna define the time of where it was a lot of just mediocre shit out, but it's a lot of gems that just went under the radar, and that Dime Trap is one of them because Ti was
No
spitting.
will, no fire.
Man, I ain't trying to see her fucking Will. Man, Will ain't dropped
Hey,
a
hey, hey,
No
hey, hey,
will,
hey.
no
dog.
fire.
Don't
Millennium
talk
is
about
You
probably
need to
his
stop your hatred right now,
dog.
sir. He
What's
can
that
get
one
jiggy
song?
with
What's
it
that one song?
forever.
Yeah, Switch. Hey, everybody turn around, man. Will need to get the hell out of rapping.
Hey, man.
Will has two greatest hits albums worth of hits, sir. Don't you ever disrespect that
Boom.
man like that.
That's fine, and a
Will is
lot of
the original blueprint for what the success of a hip hop artist is ultimately going to be. Because everybody tries to do all the shit that Will Smith already
and
did.
and I'm going to say that that is wonderful, but I could care less about checking for a Will Smith
Sir,
album.
we don't
I'm
care
not,
about what you young people is talking about. You talking
but it's
about how
not
the
one.
last few
But
years
it's not one.
been great
But
for
it's not young
music. I
people.
wanted a Will Smith album. I didn't get one, so these last 3 years been trash for me.
I can understand,
Although
but I'm just saying.
I will say, like I said earlier, that song that Ti got on that Madden soundtrack, hot as fuck.
Fire.
For the other people that
Hot
are not,
as
for
fuck. That shit
the
makes me get
other
hyped every time I turn on the game.
for the other 99.99991 other
That's the way you
percent of
gonna do
people
it?
out there,
You gonna put that many
then
nines on it?
Wilson
You
that
gonna
are
put
not
that many nines on it? That's how many
that's,
nines you putting on it? Bet. Bet.
that's
Okay.
not checking for a
Okay.
Will Smith album, man. It's some good music out there.
What
So
is my
I
goddamn doing
suggest you
here?
go
Jesus
hit your
Christ, man.
iTunes and go take a scroll and see what's going on. But you can bypass that Drake and that Wayne. I'm quite honest. Even that what you call it is good. That name Kevin Gates, pretty good.
I heard the Kevin Gates was good, my
I'm
man.
trying to. Oh man, it's some nice music out here. People are really trying to
I
step
heard
their
that.
shit up. Oh, I would like to say that I listened to Joe Budden's podcast where he interviewed Chance, and if you haven't listened to it, I think you should go give it a listen. If you're a fan of Chance, you should give it a listen. If you do not like Chance, you should still give it a listen because
Give it a listen, David.
I've never been a fan of Chance. Oh, I've been a fan of Chance when he did acid rap, but this coloring book and his aura, I don't know, it kind of rubbed me wrong.
Hmm.
And listening to that interview, you get a better understanding of who Chance is. And I have to say, he's a incredible individual, and his spirit is really infectious, and
Positivity,
it
man.
pushes his spirit pushes positivity. You can tell,
Mhm.
I can tell why people knocked him, and I see why I
Yeah.
knocked him, and I'm still gonna knock him because I just don't. When I listen to rap, I listen to rap in the sense of I like the melodies of rap, and gospel doesn't do it for me. Rapping on a gospel beat doesn't do it for me, and that's just how I am. That's just my ignorance. I have to deal with that. But personally, I think Chance is an amazing artist. I think he's a positivity that he's pushing is something that's very infectious, and I think everybody should get on that wave.
No, I'm with you 100%, man. I haven't listened to the podcast interview, but I'll definitely
It's
give
not
it a
even an
shot.
interview. It's more like a conversation. It's not even like they
Just
just
talking,
like trying to
kicking it.
pull stuff. It's just like he's talking about like he literally they asked him about the Kanye West situation, knowing that he's working with Kanye, and he had this one perception of Kanye, and you could tell how his whole demeanor changed just off having a conversation with three other gentlemen, fleshed out, is saying, "Oh, you know what? I really don't like this modern Ye." And he came to realization of that. And I said that's why I say a lot of these conversations need to be had. That it ain't just like everybody just kissing somebody ass. It's okay to tell somebody, "Hey, you falling off. You got to do better." It's okay to hear that criticism because in criticism it creates growth. So I mean, we all have to go through it. So I feel like Kanye West needs people in his circle that will keep it real for him and not gonna kiss his butt. And I gotta say, Chance really came to realization. He was like, "Man, I really don't like nothing that Kanye's pushing out." And it is what it is. Oh, we ain't even been talking about his crazy ass either.
Oh, you
We
got.
don't need to.
Yeah, you just I say just let him rock, bro.
Next, next.
It's nothing else. There's nothing else to say. What's been on the movie tip, man?
Ooh, Wilson, you want to talk about a Daredevil right quick?
We can.
Oh,
I
before
mean,
we
for everybody
before
that hasn't, go ahead.
before we talk about that, I want to say right quick, Insecure. I didn't like this season. A lot of people, some people did.
It
I
was
want to talk
trash.
about.
I actually
I
watched it and it was trash, man.
I'm gonna say that it was escape from. I don't like. I'm not gonna talk about Insecure. Whatever it is, what it is. I want to talk about Ballers, and I want to talk
Oh
about
no,
Ballers.
y'all started it. Y'all started it. We got
Okay,
to get
Wilson.
into it because I
Okay,
disagree with both of y'all.
okay, Wilson. We gonna talk about this, but I want to say Ballers this season. It started off a
Oh
little
no, we're
slow.
gonna get to that too. Don't take that shine away. Ballers needs its own time.
I haven't even
Yeah,
watched.
Ballers needs its own time, Griff. You know we're gonna talk about Ballers too. Come
Okay,
on
well
now.
let's okay. So
But
this let's say
back to this
Ballers.
Insecure. What is it that y'all didn't like about it?
Okay, so with Insecure, I got to put my mind back in Insecure. What I've watched from Insecure is just uninteresting from a standpoint of the secondary characters do not move the story enough for me. That there's nothing that's appealing that makes this show or this season work. And it's not so much as looking for drama, and I'm all for positivity. If you want to just do a whole season of growth and positivity, there was no payoff of
I don't
what
feel like the story progressed at all.
it was like a
A
state. It was like
stalemate.
it was like
Super
it was
stalemate,
a
bro.
it got stagnant to me, and just looking
Quick.
from. Can I be honest with you?
It got predictable. It got predictable too.
It reminded me. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. So me and Shantae went through our little ordeal where we kind of fell off, and I'm keeping it a buck. And you go through those
I
stages
see
where
you. I
y'all
see
break
you.
up, y'all break up, and y'all go do your own thing. Not saying necessarily that you have to be fucking around and stuff like that, but you go through your own individual space of growth. And I just truly did not vibe with nothing that so was I felt no growth with East. I feel like she was still just. I mean, I felt like it was just
She
like the
got
Marcus.
worse
It was
after after going there to do the apartment. Like she got worse. I'm like,
like
what?
it got stagnant, and then it just like I got no. It's like I had no emotional attachment to the show, where it was just became passive with me, and I felt like that was the only thing that I really didn't like about the show. I mean, it was entertaining, like it passed the time. I took what it was for the show, but it was just like when you watch a season, you like it was remind me of like watching Scandal. It was like, oh, I'm just passing the time. And when a show gets like that, and I'm not really getting nothing out of the show, besides just like okay, passing the time, then I know that it's lost its flair. And I just feel like that season lost its flair to me personally. So I would like to see what Wilson got to say, honestly.
The thing about this season of Insecure that kind of resonated with me as interesting is the fact that unlike the previous seasons of Insecure, in the way that they handled this season and in the way that it was directed, unlike the first couple of seasons, I didn't feel like a witness. I actually felt like I was seeing this show from her perspective. Yes, the secondary characters didn't do anything to move along the program because to me, it was shown from the selfish point of view of the main character. So you wouldn't see that kind of progression. You wouldn't see it move along because she wouldn't see it move along like that. Although, if you peel back the layers and look at it, they showed you more growth with secondary characters from baby showers and folks going through their own little personal ordeals and stuff like that than arguably the first two combined. Because really, the only growth that you saw in the first two seasons was from her ex-boyfriend and from her main homegirl. That's it. You got to learn a lot more about a lot more of the outside characters in this season, in my opinion, than you did in the first two. The other part about it that I appreciated was the standpoint of it really didn't do anything groundbreaking, earth shattering. It didn't give you those curveballs or that big roller coaster like the first two seasons did, because the first two seasons gave you some real up and down moments. But in this season, the one thing that resonated with me is that it was a little bit more real from the standpoint of it represented her not kind of being by the seat of her pants, fly by night, but she had to grow up. She had to go through mature situations. It wasn't just the risk of infidelity or dating around and this, that, and the other. She actually took the time to get emotionally invested in somebody and had herself get completely let down and had to deal with those kinds of situations. More mature problems arose in this season than I felt arose in the previous two, which made me a little bit more interested in it. overall, will I say that this is the best season that they've put out? No, I still like the second season better overall out of all of them. Uh, but I do recognize the chance that they took with the way that they went about doing it, with the way that they made it a short ass season. Um, and I kind of like it from the standpoint of, like you said, there was no real payoff at the end. There was no real like we built up this result. It wasn't that. It was like anticlimactic as hell for the last episode of the season. But that, much like life, is pretty much the way that it is a lot of times. So I appreciated it from that standpoint.
And that was the thing that I don't like about it. It made me, you know what? I love that you broke it down like that, because I saw all of that and I still got out of it is she's not an interesting person. And that's why I didn't like the
But you know
season.
what? That's the part that's so funny about it, because at the end, when you really get down to the brass tacks of it, just about every other person on that show besides her is interesting.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And it speaks on the show of it being an awkward girl, and it shows that. But yeah, you're so right. She's just so uninteresting that I think she's corny.
Exactly.
I think she's not funny. And I just think that she's not,
And
I don't want to be mean. And I'm sorry, Issa. And I'm pretty sure
But that's
are,
honest, Griff. That's not being mean. That's being honest, because the thing that makes that show resonate so much and why people are such big fans of it is because there's a large number of the female population and male population that low key feel that way about themselves, and they've never seen it on a big screen before.
yeah, I can see that. And I can really understand that. And I think, and you know what? I think I agree with you saying. I think that I would give this season extra kudos
And now,
off of
don't,
that.
hey, Griff, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to champion the cause and say that, oh my God, this season was so off the chain and so great, because to me it wasn't. But at the same time, I understand a certain perspective of it, and I'm assuming that that was part of their intent, was to get me to see it the way
Mm-hmm.
that I described it. But that's the way that it kind of came into me, and it kind of helped me digest the season better, because I'm like, okay, now my perspective when I started
Has
watching these
changed.
episodes changed. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So it made it a little bit different as far as what I watched, how I took it in, and what I thought the end result or what the end intent was. So it kind of made it one of those things where, okay, well, I see where y'all took this little shot. All right, okay, cool. All right, well, I see y'all we went with. Okay, all right, cool. Because one of the things that I can say that I enjoyed a lot about this season was like her homegirl that works at the bank, the heavyset chick. I
Mm-hmm.
got to see a lot more of her.
I do
She's
like her.
funny as fuck
She
to
She's
me.
is,
funny.
she is funny. She is
Yeah,
funny.
she's funny as fuck to me. I'm like, man, y'all should have been had her with more dialogue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Little
Exactly.
things like
She,
that. I like the fact that the married guy that was messing with Molly.
oh, they talking
I
about
like the fact that his
Dro, whatever his
the
name.
tall. I like the fact that his corny ass wasn't in there hardly at all, because I really couldn't stand him
Exactly.
last
I
season.
couldn't stand him.
That
He's
shit made no sense to me whatsoever.
bad acting.
I like the fact that they pump faked everybody, because before the season started, they leaked out the fact that Lawrence wouldn't be on this season, and lo and behold, Lawrence
He
shows up on
was.
this season. I thought that was really cool, and it
Yeah,
was just a whole different perspective. Oh, I came back to rub it in your face, East. I'm doing so good, so this, that, and the other. Nigga, you been spinning your wheels and catching STDs. Okay, cool. Like
and
a
then
lot of it was just like almost too regular real. And that's why it didn't
exactly.
really jump off at us the way that the other two seasons did.
It was
But
too
they were
regular.
realistic situations. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Dude get his heart broke. His gal cheated on him. She
And
really didn't believe on him. So what I'm gonna do?
wow.
I'm gonna go fuck off. If I got a little bit of success or something like that, and I see these chicks is checking for me, I'm banging out every day. Whatever.
Exactly. That's
I
why I
ain't
was
got no heart
understanding.
no more. I'm on that Omarion. You know what I'm saying? It's an ice box. You can't
Yeah,
see
where
me.
this
You know what I'm
heart
saying?
used to be.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things, I guess I kind of went into it with that kind of perspective, that kind of look at it. I wasn't looking for the extraordinary. I was just looking for how they magnified the ordinary and made it work. And that's why it was easier for me to kind of, go through and accept what they were doing, as far as that season's concerned, which is completely the opposite of what they got going on that Ballers.
And you know what? We're not going to even, because I don't want to be too long on this, and I don't want to spoil it for DeMarcus if he watches it, but I will address one thing. This is the best acting that we have seen from The Rock, in my opinion.
Oh, they didn't turn. They turned up.
I've never seen Rock talk
Bruh,
about
Ballers is so
social.
goddamn good
He's
this
talking
year.
about social issues. He's talking about
Yeah.
like black issues. like literally dating a black
Yeah.
woman. Like he's dealing with
Like
a lot
mental
of things
health
that
issues, suicide, depression, all kind. Like they tackle a lot of issues on this show. Props out to former Pittsburgh Steeler Rashard Mendenhall, who's on the writing team, because they picked some super relevant topics to talk
exact,
about this season. They really have outdone themselves this season.
and you would
They
give
they are literally in the midst of their best season of ballers, and that says a lot because they've never had a bad season of ballers.
and I give The Rock credit because he talked about this on one of his interview about being um typecast in Hollywood about, he had to be a slender dude and he had to look this type of way. And he had to be with this type of girl and all that. And he said that in the success that he's getting now, he's breaking free of the mold and doing what he wants to do, being at the size that he wants to be in, and talking about things that he's always wanted to talk to, but society or I guess PR or whoever
Yeah, they want
governs
to
it,
typecast him. When they look at The Rock, they
stopping
think about the next Arnold Schwarzenegger. So they just want him to be buff and say dumb shit and just not really have no kind of thought or freedom of movement. And he's
so
not
the
that guy.
so the topics that he ended up talking about are topics that he said that he was adamant about of adding to the show and addressing, and I think that he did a wonderful job this season. The show started off on a funny vibe and it just switched real quick into something that I did not see it going, and I really enjoyed this season. I thought this season was phenomenal because Ballers went from like being like old buddy getaway, like watch with your homeboys and laugh, to some serious shit on the past last season and this season, and I really
I
think
was
they
about
did a
to
good.
say the past two seasons have gotten a lot more socially relevant,
Yeah,
more
political.
politically relevant. And it actually takes the time in between all of that to not only be entertaining and still be funny, but it gives you things to actually think about because you can tell that there are athletes involved with this show because they talk and discuss a lot of the issues that most modern day athletes
Athletes
go through.
have. Hmm. But yeah, we don't want to be too
And
long on
while
the
we're
show.
talking about The Rock, let me give a quick
Continue.
shout out to him because a lot of people may not have seen it, but I give him all the props in the world. We talked about it briefly, but going along the lines of him having that more freedom to do things that he may want to or embrace different roles that people may not typecast him in on a regular and stuff like that. Props to him for Skyscraper. For a lot of people that haven't seen it, the one thing that I will say without spoiling it and stuff like that is I give him a lot of respect because this is the first action movie that I can remember where the main character is actually an amputee.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, yeah, I give it
Yeah,
that.
I can't think of that.
And I think that that's good. I think that that sheds light on a certain segment of society that I don't think gets enough recognition,
Hmm.
especially in the light of as many veterans as we have coming home every day that are potential amputees, in spite of those that may be dealing with various illnesses, type 1 and type 2 diabetes that when escalated and not treated or not handled properly will lead to people becoming amputees. I thought that was a big move. Not only by The Rock, but by the people that made the film. And they pulled it off in a great fashion. And they made it really, really engaging as a part of making that an integral part of the story, but not making it a hindrance for him in said story.
And I know there's a lot of more entertaining stuff out there, and we don't want to be too long. Daredevil trailer looks dope. Check it out.
Smoking.
It's gonna be
Smoking.
it's gonna be awesome just to see how they flipping that with how I know Wilson probably knows a little bit more of this. They're taking like a few of the comic book arcs of Daredevil and they're kind of meshing them together. But it's gonna be interesting to see how Bullseye's he's not
I mean, they bringing my
introduced.
man in there, so I'm good.
You
I'm
saw
good. That's all I
did you
need
see
to
the
see.
character trailer of Bullseye that they did on him?
Yeah.
Like it's like a 1 minute or whatever. It's gonna be interesting how they
Yeah.
flipping that, and how he's hired by William Fisk to kind of paint Daredevil as a bad guy. So it's gonna be super dope how they do that. And then also Aquaman trailer drop. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a really
Smoking.
dope trailer. I think Jason Momoa looks like he's gonna kill it. It's different than the Aquaman that I guess that we're used to, or the new 52, but I like the little teen surfer dudes image vibe that they're giving up with him. That looks dope. And then also shout out to, I don't know if y'all saw the Vice trailer for that the Dick Cheney movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christian Bale transformed and he looks
He's
just
nice.
like
He's nice. He did a good job.
Man,
Actually, all the actors and actresses that I saw did a really good job.
yeah, because what's his name? Steve Carell looks like Donald
Yeah,
Rumsfeld. I said, oh
I was
man.
like, they got a lot of top list actors and actresses in that show.
I
They
was
all
like,
did a
damn.
really good job.
I said, damn, man, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be some good stuff out there, and man, it's a lot of entertainment. I don't even know what all been popping out here, but
It is. I mean, we can't go through it all without being long-winded and stuff like that. But just know,
oh, Joker.
you know, it's the fall time of the year, so a lot of the stuff is coming through. Yes, I saw the Joker trailer and some of the pictures with Joaquin Phoenix. I
Captain
will take this time, however, to simply preempt you all yet again because I discussed with my esteemed two colleagues before, and I think at least one of them laughed at me. I keep trying to tell y'all, man, this whole thing for people that love to choose sides on this whole comic book movie thing, the DC universe is the WWF and Marvel is the WCW. You're gonna see it. I'm telling you right now, just like it was back in the day. WCW is hot and flashy. They got everything going for them. The Goldbergs and everything else. They the cream of the crop. WWF is soft. They falling off. They trash. And my, how those things bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you've seen Venom, there's cracks in that wall as we speak, buddy.
Oh yeah, we already know. We knew Sony was just pitching out
And see, that's
dirt.
the thing. All of these folks that love to pick a
really
side
know Sony
too,
ass
and
for
yes, for all of those people that love to pick sides, let me inform you of one little thing. I don't care what excuse you try to use
Facts,
and blame it on Sony or whatever. If there's a fucking Marvel label on it, it's a
facts,
Marvel project. I
and
don't
it's
care who directed it. So you gonna take them L's like you try to take all them W's too. Because
mm-hmm.
I'll tell both of y'all right now, if you haven't seen it, just watch it on Fire Stick or wait for it to come on
Oh, I don't
DVD.
want to see that turd in the wind.
I
you
mean,
been on
it's
Sony's
okay. It's
ass.
not terrible, but you can already tell that there's so much more that could have been done with it, and there's so many different directions that they could have gone with it. But again, I tell people, Sony follows the same formula that all these Marvel fanboys and fangirls love to do because they're going to find something that makes them successful and makes them money, and they're going to
Mm-hmm.
keep regurgitating it and shipping it out to you. So when
Mm-hmm.
all of that came out of here, all crawling out of the woodwork, talked about how it's too goofy and too campy and too much comedy and this, that, and other. I said, shit, it sounds like Deadpool to me. You didn't have a problem with that.
At all.
Take them L's the way you take them dubs, homie. It's just the way that it goes.
Speaking facts. Speaking
Man,
facts.
you ain't lying at all. You ain't lying at all, bro. What shows
And
y'all?
now on a TV show note,
Mm-hmm.
I will throw out that they just put out a little information. One of my favorite hits that I tried to promote before people got wind of it. I see that they are adding Bill Duke and Robert Townsend to the Black
Oh, Black
Lightning
Lightning.
cast.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think that that's awesome. I've always been a huge fan of both of those guys, not only as actors but as directors and producers. I think that they're very creative and they've done some very positive things for the perception of people of color in cinema. Uh, I look forward to that. I know that you're getting all of the new what should be the final season of Gotham should be starting soon. I know Flash should be starting up right about now. All of those usual things for people that haven't been paying attention and don't watch yet. Catch up if you can on last season, but The Gifted on Fox is the best X-Men project that's ever been done, live action ever. Better than any movie they've ever done, better than anything else they've ever done outside of that X-Men animated series.
And
It is super dope. It is super interesting, and they make it work without using any major X-Men.
if you want to flip it from from Fox to FX, man, Snowfall. That's a show that I think everybody need to be
Man,
watching.
FX is so gangster right now between Snowfall, The Purge, Mayans. They are
I didn't like Mayans.
absolutely
I'm gonna be honest with you.
crushing it.
I haven't really cared for Mayans. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think
They're in that
it might
they're
be
in
better.
that talking stage. That's the one thing that I'll chalk up to them. They're too caught up in trying to give you too much backstory and too much
Exactly.
explanations for too many things. I'm forgiving them for that because I'm trying to kind of piece together the different storylines and the stories that they're crafting because I'm expecting them to do the typical, get towards the middle of the season and then it's going to
It
be a
start getting
lot
better.
less talking, a lot more action, that kind of thing. But so far from what I've seen from it, I like it. And being biased because I was a huge Sons of Anarchy fan, it's just good to see bikers on TV again.
That is
I,
true.
I won't lie. I won't lie. It's just a quick fix
I
for me
love
right now.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that show,
But
also
not
keep going.
but let me happily co-sign. Snowfall is one of the 5 best TV shows out right now that nobody's watching.
Exactly. The second season just wrapped up. Great, phenomenal show.
Super duper great season.
I just like to put everybody game on things that most people are probably not watching, like we love to do, drop them gems. And then another show that I have watched and I need to finish up on is Counterpart. It's a show that was on, I want to say Showtime, Stars, one of those two. It's with man, what is his name? I can't think of it, but it's a really dope show. It's about he has a counterpart. There's two different Earths because of some scientific experiment that happened and split the made an alternate reality of Earth, and they kind of merge together. So you have a counterpart in the other Earth, whether it's Earth Prime and Earth something else or something like that, Alpha, I want to say, and somebody crossed over and is killing all I guess the assassins on one side, and it's just a lot of drama and a lot of good action going on. So if you want something really good to check out, check that out. I don't hear to me it's gotten glowing reviews, but it's not too many people have heard of it. So go check that out, and that's about it. Really, I ain't been watching too much. I've been really just podcasts, sports, and spinning gangster. Really,
I only have a few more to add. Actually, another hidden gem that a lot of people didn't watch last year when it came out with its first season and is already off to a bang in its second season. 9/11 on Fox with Angela Bassett. Very underrated show. Very good actors, very good stories in there. Basically outlines the life of the LAPD and the LA Fire Department and the 911 operators as they go through their daily grinds and stuff like that. Angela Bassett plays an LAPD officer. In addition to just looking amazing and being the hottest 60-year-old woman in the world right now, she does a good job with her character. The usual suspects right now have gotten off to a bit of a slow start, but nothing too terrible with Star and Empire. As y'all know, if y'all listen, me and Griff are some pretty good supporters of Star, especially from Jump. But Empire was pretty good last year. They're off to a different type of season this year. The season is kind of like a murder mystery wrapped up in a redemption tale as they try to go from broke and not having their company no more to starting over from scratch. And somebody has come up dead, but they haven't told you who it is yet and all that other good stuff. For my reality TV people, the only reality TV show that I've really given a chance to per se, but I actually like it, probably because I'm a big proponent of skin art. Black Ink Crew has been pretty fucking good. I like those guys. I don't know why. Don't judge me. But C's and the people that run 13th in New Orleans and Atlanta, I like them folks. They get down, they do ratchet shit with their ratchet friends and turn the fuck up on the regular. They have drama. People get fired. People get hired. You know what I'm saying? Everybody sleeps with everybody. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And lastly, for me, it debuted last night. It's a 10-part series, and I believe that makes it 20 hours total because each episode is 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken, an hour or 2 hours. If you have not seen on ESPN the documentary Basketball, A Love Story, you are not a real basketball fan. It literally tells you the history of basketball from inception, and it literally has every significant basketball player alive, male and female, in it. It is amazing. If you love basketball, and especially if you love the history of basketball, it is off to an amazing start. They've only gone 2 episodes in so far. It comes on ESPN, I want to say every Tuesday. They may do like 2 episodes a week, but it is phenomenal. It is phenomenal.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Hey, next week I want to talk about how real Mikey FC is.
Mikey
Oh
L's.
Lord.
I mean, Mike L's, man. Shout out to your pops too, Wilson. I know his birthday just passed.
Hey man, don't you steal my joy. Don't you steal my joy.
Shout out to your pops, man. You know my pops birthday coming up too, man. You go ahead.
Yeah. He was out and about with my moms and my sister, getting it in today for the birthday. Pops, as he said, turned his favorite age. He's 69 this year, so turn up, do what you do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, anybody that knows me knows, man, that's the only superhero that I've ever followed in my life. That man is everything to me. That is the blueprint. That is the truth and the understanding. Uh, my appreciation for him grows with every year because as a younger man and watching my pops, just be a hardworking husband and coming home to his family every day and just being that dedicated family man and provider and stuff like that. I was like, dude, you so lame. You don't even go out. You don't kick it. You ain't got no friends. What the fuck. But as I grow older and I see all of the things that he sacrificed, all of the things that he put
Appreciation.
into taking care of his family, being, that was his most important job. Like, I laugh because I find myself trying very hard to emulate and imitate everything that I've ever seen my dad do. And flat out admiration for the type of man that he was, because he could have been that guy out there running around, hanging out with his buddies and neglecting his household, but he chose not to be. I'm forever grateful for that. I am forever a fan of his because of that. And to me, there is no cooler man on the planet. So happy birthday to my dad. I look forward to coming and snatching you up, and we're gonna go out and do some ratchet stuff with Mom Ain't Looking this weekend. But I love you much, and I know you enjoyed the day.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Happy birthday to you, pops. For sure, for sure. Anything you got for us, Griff? Are you good over
Not a damn thing. Not a
there? My man.
I do, I
Sound
do,
like
I
you
do, I
breaking
do.
out equipment over there.
Okay, Griff said, "No, I ain't got shit. I
I
ain't
ain't
got
got
shit."
shit. Hey man, go to work, see Xavier, see that's it, man. I ain't got nothing to report. Ain't no birthdays, no nothing.
Hey, you
I
got one
only
more?
got one more
Got 3 months,
thing.
Griff.
Uh,
What you got, Will?
I only got one more thing. Well, one and a half. My half is reiterating what our glorious host, who I am extremely happy to hear his voice and see him in much better spirits, has echoed. Yes, we have missed the opportunity to be able to extend our voices to you guys and fellowship and have y'all hopefully gain a little bit of something from our ramblings and laughings and talking trash and stuff like that, because it's a really good release for all three of us. We always look forward to doing this, and we hope that you guys appreciate what we do. Um, my other thing is we are rapidly approaching that time of the season, people. I hear so many people get out and be so demonstrative about how they don't like what's going on in this country, how they don't like the way that things are happening, the way that people are being treated and stuff like that. Vote, man. Register if you're not registered. Go out to the polls. Vote. If you don't like these people, get rid of these people. Vote. If you just chalk it up and say, "Oh, my vote don't count. Oh, it's not gonna matter no way," well, you're right. It won't. I mean, you can't sit and talk about change all the time and not contribute to it. Do what it takes. Do what you have to do. Make other people aware if you are registered to vote, and make sure that they're registered to vote and that they're getting out and voting. Everybody's vote counts. They count on us not to care about voting. That's why they keep winning. Get out there and vote. Get these clowns out of here before they make this shit any worse than it already is.
The man speaks facts.
Man, for sure, for sure. But man, that's what's up. Like you say, we'll be back to you guys back on schedule next week for sure.
We'll see y'all in Christmas.
Oh, don't do that.
We'll see you next year.
Oh, no, no. We'll holler at y'all 2019. 2019, bitches.
2020.
Not the Super Bowl. Super Bowl episode.
Oh shit, Kanye about to be president by the time we.
What?
Hell
I'm
no.
moving to Canada. I'm out this bitch.
I'm going. Here I come. Fishing
I'm
grits
out this
coming live
bitch.
from Toronto.
We in Vancouver. We in Vancouver on vacation, on
Views from the
satellite
six.
location.
Views from the six.
Well, you can go with the Yankees.
I'm out here at Drake's old loft apartment. I just moved in. I'm tired of y'all Americans.
DeMarcus throwing slugs. I caught that. I caught
I
that one.
saw it.
I caught that one. You can
I
go with
saw
the
it.
Yankees.
That's fine.
Just saying.
That's fine.
Just saying. Just saying.
That's fine.
Back
That's
to back
fine.
over.
Third party hating and cheerleading is frowned upon, but it's all good.
That's all good.
Back
Because
to back over.
regardless of what my Yankees did, all I know is my Yankees was 5-2 against them Blastros. So it's not like y'all put us out, but hopefully y'all can finish.
Well, you didn't have a chance to put us out. That's all. That.
Hey, that's all good. That's all fine. You don't really matter with the Blue Bloods though until you repeat, right?
Okay.
Because the last team that repeated was never mind. We don't have to worry about that. The last team that three-peated, was never mind. You don't have to worry about that either. It's all good. It's all good. But good luck though. I wish you guys well.
Coming soon. But as for now, this has
going
been
out like the Rockets.
Hey, now, don't you be disrespectful.
Don't you
Man.
do
Hold
that
on
to
now.
me, goddamn.
What I do to you, son? What did I do to deserve this?
I'm bitter, son. DeJounte, I miss you, dog. Get that knee better, fam. I needed you, homie. My bad. Sorry.
That's
It's
funny.
all right. Trade back for Tony. Maybe he'll.
You know what? We don't want Tony because Tony wanted to play for his idol, Michael Jordan.
So I had 0 points the other night.
Hey, he got what he wanted. They offered
0.
him the same amount of money that Charlotte did. He said he left because he wanted to play for Michael Jordan.
Play for Batum. Him and Batum wanted to play together. Get off.
Yeah, he can kiss a Batum, suck on a Batum.
Yeah, let him know. Let him
Get
know.
socked in the mouth with a Batum. I don't like that motherfucker. I never liked your pretty motherfucking ass anyway.
It's a Spurs
Frenchie.
It's a Spurs lady. He said Frenchie. Man,
French bread, French toast, French TP9. I can't stand none of them.
Man,
French liquor, champagne.
French vanilla.
I don't like none of it.
None of it.
Hell no.
I don't even like Frenchies.
Michael Jordan, what you gonna play for him? What you would have did?
You know what? Tony Parker just ruined his entire career because now he's about to have his first losing season of his entire career. Congratulations.
That's very true. That's very true out there. That's a sad.
You waited until your last year to run to a loser. Good job, Frenchie. Good job.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
How's all?
Hope you choke on some escargots, mother. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So many apologies I need to put out right now.
And you
Hope
guys
slip on a muscle in the locker room, motherfucker.
Being served. Calm down, Wilson. We out of here.
Peace.